This past Sunday of Week 16 action was followed up by an amazing Christmas Day, where we had some amazing games between the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers, as well as the Indianapolis Colts topping the Arizona Cardinals on Christmas night. And then Sunday, filled with a lot of surprises, as it is every single week in the NFL. You had the Houston Texans topping the LA Chargers in a big upset. And then the Dallas Cowboys show their dominance on Sunday Night Football, continue to be one of the best teams in the NFL, in the NFC at least, with their defense and their offense. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Time2Football. My name is Hassan Khan, the host of this channel that we like to call Time2Football. Glad you guys are joining us for this amazing, marvelous Monday morning post-Christmas, man. Hey, it's over. It's over. Listen. Hey, basic girls that want to celebrate Christmas starting on November 1st, it's over. It's over. You wanted to celebrate it a month early. Why? You wanted to hype it up for one day, and now it's gone. It's over. Hey, was the hype all worth it? Was it worth overlooking Thanksgiving? Let's take a moment to say what we're thankful for. Spend time with our friends and our family. Eat food. Nope. Christmas. It's November 1st. Thanksgiving is the next major holiday. Christmas. Was it worth it? Now you're going to have to spend all that time taking down your decorations. Listen, you wanted this. You wanted it when you decided to celebrate this starting November 1st. I started the day after Thanksgiving. I was like, I know it's just one day, so I'm only going to put 1 month of effort into this holiday. But I'm glad you guys had an amazing Christmas. If you guys did, hey, comment down below. What'd you guys get? What'd you guys get? I'm probably getting, I am getting old. My life is pretty much over at the age of 28. But I have the rest of my life. I have nothing to look forward to. But I'm getting older. So at this point, I don't really need anything. The things I want are equipment for the show, things like that are kind of expensive that nobody else can really get me. So I'm like, okay, I'll save up my own money and buy it. So all I asked for was clothes. That's really it. So it was, I know it's not the most eventful Christmas for me, but you know what? It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, you guys are commenting down below in the live chat. If you're joining us on YouTube during the live show, we also have a version of this that's going to be going up later on after we're done streaming on iTunes. But let's go ahead and check in with some of the comments you guys are saying. Aftershock Value already tuning in, saying, Grand Rising, how was your holiday? It was good. It was good, man. It was good. I was able to relax, watch some football, spend time with family, so that was pretty good. I'm in the finals. Congrats, dude. Congrats. Let's go. Talk about fantasy football. I love it. Finals, baby. Leon, also in the finals. Finals in 2 out of 3 leagues. I freaking love it. I'm in the finals as well. This is the 3rd time. I've done this main league for 9 years. This is the 3rd time I've gone to the finals. It's kind of competitive in that league, so you can't just expect to go there every year. But 3rd time I've been there. I will be going. This will be my 3rd time. I'm 0-2 so far in the finals. I've never won. Believe it or not, I've never won a fantasy football championship in my life. Now, okay, hold on. That's a lie. There was one time I accidentally signed up for like a, NFL.com, whatever. Like I accidentally clicked the button and it was like, oh my gosh, I signed up for this league. How do I leave this league? And apparently, like, trying to leave a fantasy football league is trying to get in touch with the IRS. Like, it's so freaking difficult. You can't figure out how to talk to your commissioner. I just want to. This is like an automatic. Like I'm playing with randos, right? And so I didn't set my lineup at all. Like, this was 2017 when Spencer Ware got hurt and Kareem Hunt came in. Well, I auto-drafted it, and I got Spencer Ware, and he was in my lineup the whole season. Did not play a single snap. And I ended up winning that league. Didn't even pay attention. But I don't really count that because I didn't, it's a bunch of randos. There's probably a lot of other people that didn't really pay attention to that league either. Kicks Plug saying, let's go. This COVID thing has been crazy. Rodney, I agree with you. I agree. It has been crazy. Now, I'm going to get to a lot of you guys in the chat a little bit later on. We're going to have a whole segment where we dedicate talking to you guys in the live chat. But Yeah, let's speak about the COVID thing and let's talk about NFL news and notes that's going around the league as of today, Monday, December 27th. What is happening around the NFL? Well, let's take a look at one of the major news that's going around is James Robinson. Actually, unfortunately, his season is over, and not just a season, but going into OTAs, which I mean, a torn Achilles. Some people have a questionable timetable with that, which we're going to get into. One player that's going to be activated off of injured reserve in just a bit because of a torn Achilles. But, you know, some people say it's a 5-month timetable, 6-month. It's not going to take a whole year, but I mean, with the torn Achilles, especially for a running back, like players aren't going to come back like the way they are. So James Robinson, unfortunately, that's a big blow. I mean, at this point, it's. I mean, Jacksonville wasn't really having much to play for. I know that you star players, you want to just finish out the season, and just give them a chance, But that's, I mean, if they're already injured to begin with, I don't agree with just continuing to let them play. You know what I'm saying? So that's why last week on last week's show, I said, listen, I mean, DeAndre Swift might be that guy that you want to just say, hey, let's bite the bullet. Let's not bring him back for this year just because we got nothing left to play for, So, unfortunately, James Robinson had to suffer that injury when they had nothing to play for, and his timetable looks like it's going to affect into OTAs going into next season. Another guy that's going to be activated very, very soon. Actually, as a matter of fact, he's already been activated off of injured reserve. We've got Cam Akers being activated off of injured reserve and is eligible to return in Week 17. Guys, Cam Akers tore his Achilles in July. Nobody expected this. People thought, oh, he's going to miss the regular season. He's going to miss the postseason. Sean McVay comes out in the middle of the season and says, listen, there's a chance. There's a chance that Cam Akers can be playing in the postseason. And we just kind of brushed it off like, oh, okay, they always say that, whatever. They have a lot of optimism. It seems like that is coming into fruition. Cam Akers is coming back for the last 2 regular season games, and then he's going to play the postseason. Now, is he going to take over Sonny Michel for the starting job? I don't know. More than likely, probably not. But it's a good indication to see Cam Akers like, hey, how good are you following this Achilles injury, even with the limited touches that you have, so that going into next season, maybe Cam Akers could be a valuable asset for the Rams' backfield moving forward. So, Akers, he is back. He is back, and he is ready to play. Now, the other running back for the Los Angeles Rams, Darrell Henderson, did suffer a knee sprain in this game. Sonny Michel has already taken over as the main guy. There's no question about it. There was some question the last couple of weeks. Oh, maybe this is going to be a committee. Oh, maybe it's going to go back to Darrell Henderson. No, it's Sonny Michel now. Sonny Michel has looked impressive. And so Darrell Henderson has suffered this knee sprain, meaning that Sonny Michel is going to continue to be impressive. Now, this comes at a kind of okay time for the Rams with Cam Akers coming back. Now you got Sonny Michel, Cam Akers, and that 2-headed monster backfield. But Darrell Henderson knee sprain, monitor his status. Adam Thielen re-aggravated his high ankle sprain, was able to play through it and finish that game, but we don't know his status for future weeks, so keep that in mind. Adam Thielen, high ankle sprain. Miles Sanders broke a bone in his hand. We'll see if he will play through it, however. I mean, Boston Scott came in, Jordan Howard came in. They look good. All of them look good. So they would be the guys that take over, but Miles Sanders did suffer a hand injury. In the last little bit of news as far as injuries go, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been diagnosed with a shoulder injury. So we thought that Edwards-Helaire had a collarbone injury. Andy Reid came out and said, no, actually, it's a shoulder injury. So believe what you want to believe, but the x-rays came back negative as far as the collarbone goes. The shoulder injury, they're going to go through an MRI here today and see the severity of Edwards-Helaire, and if he's going to miss some time, it's going to have the Chiefs are going to have Darrell Williams and Derek Gore taking over the backfield. As far as COVID-19, we're going to be talking about the Monday Night Football game coming up via WinView Games later on in the show. But as far as COVID-19 goes, Quan Alexander, Deontay Harris on the Saints side have been placed on that list. We already know that Taysom Hill is going to be missing, Trevor Siemian as well. So Ian Book is going to be making his first career NFL start in his rookie season. On the Dolphins side, we've got Albert Wilson that's been placed on that COVID-19 list. He's going to be missing this game for the Dolphins. But that is your NFL news and notes for today. We've got 10 things that we've learned from this past Sunday. Excuse me. Any little cough you got COVID. But what we do every Sunday or every Monday is we look back on this past week of Sunday NFL action. And we ask ourselves, what are 10 things that we learned from Sunday's games? The weeks aren't over. Week 16 is not over. We still got week 16 to finish out tonight, Monday Night Football between the Dolphins and the Saints, which we're going to be talking about later on in this show. But for right now, as far as Sunday football, as far as Saturday football, this past Thursday, even with the Tennessee Titans and the 49ers, what are 10 things that we learned from this past week of NFL football? Takeaway number one, Washington is going to draft a quarterback. This was already a given that they're going to explore the quarterback market at least and say, okay, what are the quarterbacks that are available? What's the pool? Are they better than Heineke? Are they better than Fitzpatrick? But I can go ahead and tell you that after the performance from this past Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington football team is kind of set on, okay, look at our options. Do we have Sam Howell available? Kenny Pickett is rising up at draft boards. We've got Malik Willis from Liberty as well. Which quarterbacks can we be drafting? Because I think at this point they're kind of tired of going with a veteran quarterback route. I mean, you had Alex Smith, kind of tired of that. Dwayne Haskins, they want to get the rookie quarterback. That, unfortunately, did not work out. And I think they want to go back down that route of getting a rookie quarterback and avoid these veterans like Alex Smith, Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and get a new, young, fresher quarterback that they can use for many years to come. So takeaway number one, Washington, more than likely, will be drafting a quarterback in the NFL draft. Takeaway number two, Pittsburgh, more than likely, is not making it into the NFL postseason. Now, I say this because even though they're in the hunt, they're only 7-1. You got to look at the teams ahead of them. You got the Miami Dolphins, then you've got the Raiders, and then you've got the Chargers. The last two teams, they lost against. Both those teams sit at 8-7, so even if the Steelers were to win 8-7-1, they got to hope that the Raiders and the Chargers were to lose their games in order for them to beat them. Because if at any point, the Chargers and the Raiders keep on winning, the Steelers are out of it. Now, that tie kind of helps a little bit because you're not going to have a tied record. So the tiebreaker would go to the excuse me. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a COVID in my throat. The Raiders and the Chargers would be essentially the teams that they have to surpass and jump and leap forward in order to get into the postseason. The fact that they have that tie means that they can't tie with the Raiders and the Chargers unless they get a tie themselves. So that kind of helps a little bit for the Steelers. But still, though, like, it's kind of hard for the Steelers at this point to make the postseason when you got the Raiders on the come up, which we're going to be talking about in just a bit, and then the Chargers as well, which we're going to be talking about it in just a bit, but in a not so good note. But that is the next takeaway. Takeaway number three, the Bengals are winning the AFC North. If we want to talk about the Steelers, we got to talk about the Ravens, we got to talk about the Bengals, because those teams are in contention of the AFC North, as well as the Cleveland Browns, but they're kind of out of it at this point, being 7-8, with the Bengals now being 9-6. Joe Burrow looking impressive, 525 yards, 5 touchdown passes, and this Bengals team continues to roll and continues to be a dark horse Super Bowl contender. They swept the Ravens. They swept the Steelers. This is the first time that this has happened since 2009, that up-and-coming season by Carson Palmer, Chad Ochocinco, Terrell Owens on that team as well. That was the last time they went 6-0 in that division. Now, they're not going to go 6-0 in this division since they lost to the Cleveland Browns, but they swept the Ravens. They swept the Steelers, which are the biggest contenders for the AFC North right now. It's just technicalities at this point that the Bengals have not locked up the AFC North, but they're going to lock it up. So the Bengals, that's the takeaway. They're going to win the AFC North. The next takeaway, the Las Vegas Raiders are finally realizing that Josh Jacobs is a 3-down back. It took a while. Hey, let's bring in Kenyon Drake. Hey, we like Peyton Barber a lot. I don't know what Mike Mayock is thinking. John Gruden had his say as well. But Josh Jacobs, the way that he's built, where he was drafted in the first round of 2019, they wanted him to be that 3-down back. But unfortunately, I don't know what it's been. Like his rookie season and maybe even his second year, he kind of showed flashes of that, but they just kind of stray away from that. And they kind of go down the route of giving other running backs not just carries so that Jacobs can rest, but actually a good amount of carries that bleeds into Jacobs' potential of being a 3-down back. Now he's taken over since Kenny Drake has suffered that injury. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until week 13 that Josh Jacobs went from having 49, 51, 55% of snaps in his on this offense to go into like 65, 70% of snaps. I mean, 27 carries for 129 yards this past week. Josh Jacobs is a 3-down back, and finally the Raiders are realizing that. And if we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, takeaway number 5, the Las Vegas Raiders are back in it. They are back in the AFC playoff race. We came out with a video where we simulated every game for week 16 and how that would shift the playoff picture if all the favorites were to win the game. And the Raiders were the biggest winners of that, and that catapults them back into the AFC playoff race. Well, everything that they needed to happen happened, including them winning their last game against the Denver Broncos. Now they sit at 8-7. They're kind of out of it right now, but they're just one loss away from another team and one win away for themselves to get into the postseason. And they could credit their strong start for that. Starting 3-0, starting 5-2, and then losing 5 of their last 6 games at one point, that didn't matter because of the strong start that they had. So the Raiders are back in the playoff race. Takeaway number 6, the Bears wasted $14 million on Andy Dalton. Hey, Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, if you want to go down the route of drafting a quarterback in Justin Fields, a younger one, and then having a veteran quarterback along with him, why not just go with Nick Foles at that point, who is already on your team? You could have restructured his contract. He already restructured his contract last season. I mean, I don't understand it. They wanted to go for Russell Wilson, and when that didn't work out, they were like, oh, let's go with Andy Dalton. We have a lot of faith in Andy Dalton. And I'm like, oh, gosh. Maybe it's because free agency is before the NFL draft, so they didn't know for sure having a pick in the 20s in the NFL draft. They didn't know for sure if a first-round quarterback was going to fall to them. So they would want to go ahead and make sure that the quarterback position was covered. But, I mean, the disparities between Nick Foles and Andy Dalton isn't that big. So I don't understand why they wasted $14 million on signing Andy Dalton this year. But the Bears, they wasted $14 million on Andy Dalton. Takeaway number 7, Rashad Penny is going to be so coveted in free agency. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You best believe that Rashad Penny is going to get a big payday in free agency. Maybe it's by the Seattle Seahawks that finally realized, listen, we drafted you pretty high up in the first round at one point, and Chris Carson's neck injury, we don't know the status. So we're just going to go ahead and re-sign you, Rashad, and you can be our starting RB1 for the future. But after putting up 135 yards for 17 carries against the Chicago Bears and having a couple of other good games as well as a starting running back, one against the Houston Texans, I think Rashad Penny has made his claim that he's going to be one of the better running backs coming out of free agency. You've got Leonard Fournette, you've got Kadero Patterson, but other than that, Rashad Penny, I mean, he's going to be 26 years old by free agency, and he doesn't have a lot of mileage on him. So he's young, he's fresh. I mean, what other... Like, there's a lot of other veteran running backs, like Melvin Gordon. Like, they're not going to be big game changers like Rashad Penny at the running back position. So Penny is going to be so coveted in free agency. The next takeaway, Kyle Pitts was deserving of a Pro Bowl nod. Okay, at first I was like, man, why did he make the Pro Bowl when he only has one touchdown reception? And then I thought to myself, like, okay, he gets the targets, he gets the receptions, he gets the yards. Like, Kyle Pitts is not that bad, especially against the Detroit Lions this past game. He was the offense, I would say. If the Falcons had any offense against the Detroit Lions, it was mainly Kyle Pitts that was getting it done. Matt Ryan as well had a lot to do with that, but Kyle Pitts was deserving of a Pro Bowl nod for the NFC. Takeaway number 9, as bad as the New York Giants are, they aren't firing Joe Judge. I think it's going to be a culture thing, man. I think it's Giants ownership. They're known for having a lot of patience, with the coaches, with the players. So don't be surprised if they give Joe Judge another shot, and that could bleed into Daniel Jones getting another shot as well at the quarterback position. So, um, and they really like the culture that Joe Judge brings. As far as I don't know if you heard this past Christmas, but he gave a bonus to every kitchen employee at the Giants facility, just saying thank you for all the meals that you've prepped for our players. So I think the Giants like that kind of thing, and Joe Judge, he's a likable guy in the Giants organization, so I don't think he's going to be fired. And then the last takeaway, the Chargers are their worst enemies. That's what we learned. Listen, guys, listen, losing to the Houston Texans 41-29, a game that many expected them to win, doesn't bode well for the Chargers, who have already given up a lot of games that they should have won, or at least have been close in, and they had a chance of winning, but somehow, some way, they kind of blew it. The Houston Texans, you've got the Kansas City Chiefs the second time in that overtime loss. You've got the Minnesota Vikings, you've got the Denver Broncos, they're just Baltimore Ravens even as well. A lot of games that they should have won that they just ended up not winning. So those are 10 takeaways that we learned from this past Sunday of NFL football. Oh man, my hair is freaking messed up. I'm sorry if I'm continuously touching it. It looks like the way I gelled it, looks like it's in the 2000s or something. Best decade in the world, by the way. Now, let's take a moment to talk about WinView games. So winview.tv/T2F is the link. Click that link in the description. Sign up, start playing. But pretty much what it is you can make prop predictions on pregame questions for the Monday Night Football game. Actually, any game. But we're going to talk about specifically the Dolphins and the Saints here today. And listen, you don't have to make pregame predictions. You can make predictions during the game as well. So if you sign up and you want to go live against your buddy, against a random stranger, whatever it may be, you go head-to-head against someone, and it'll ask you, do you think that Ian Book will throw a touchdown pass on this drive? And if you answer correctly, you put up a certain amount of points, you win some points, and you can win some cash. So they match $100 on your deposit. Sign up, start playing. But what we're going to do is we're going to preview the Monday Night Football game via WinView games between the Dolphins and the Saints. We asked you guys some pre-games questions on Instagram, and we're going to go ahead and look at the results of those questions. So first, taking a look at question number 1. We've got Tua Tagovailoa has a 35-yard pass or longer. Will that happen in this game or no? Well, if we take a look at the polls, 78% say yes, 22% say no. I know the Saints secondary has given up some big plays, but the way that the Dolphins are designed and the way that Tua has such a big completion percentage is because he kind of dumps it off to Mike Gesicki, dumps it off to Jalen Waddle, lets him do his own thing. So unless Jalen Waddle gets a big yards after catch, I'm going to side with no. That's not going to happen. The Dolphins convert 6 or more third downs. Will that happen or no? 72% say yes. 28% say no. I'm going to say yes. They're slow. They're methodical. They don't make those big home run plays. The Dolphins don't. They dominate time of possession on offense. So I'm going to say yes, that is going to happen. The Saints convert 2 or more field goals. Will that happen or no? 73% say yes, 27% say no. I'm going to say yes. I have some faith in Brett Maher. I think he's going to convert 2 or more field goals against the Dolphins, who have given up some field goal opportunities in the past. Any player has 2 or more sacks. Will that happen or no? We've got Cameron Jordan in the conversation as well. 76% say yes, 24% say no. You know, Cam Jordan is having an unbelievable season. He really is. Marcus Davenport as well. In the beginning when he was drafted, didn't work out, but now he's coming into fruition, and he's looking pretty good. You got Carl Granderson as well for the Saints. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, it is going to happen. Alvin Kamara scores a touchdown, receiving or rushing. Doesn't matter. Will that happen or no? 89% say yes, it will. 11% say no, it will not. man, this is tough. This is really, 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 really tough. Because Ian Book is the quarterback, I'm going to say no. I think all the attention is going to be put on Kamara, and they're going to dare Book to pass it to a receiver. Both teams combined for 44 points or more. Hey, 22-22. That's all it needs. Will that happen or no? 55% say yes, 45% say no. Listen, if the score last week with Taysom Hill against the Bucks was 9-0, with Ian Book, what makes you think it's going to be even more higher scoring than that? I mean, the Dolphins' defense in itself is a very tough defense, so I'm going to say no. Myles Gaskin is Miami's leading rusher. Will that happen or no? 55% say yes, 45% say no. Hey, 45%, you pay attention to football because you know that Duke Johnson has been looking good, especially last week against the New York Jets. I think it's going to be Duke Johnson. I really do. I don't think Myles Gaskin is going to be getting as many carries as Duke Johnson in this game. I think Johnson has the up on him. Tua Tagovailoa passes for 230 yards or more. Will that happen or no? 79% say yes. 21% say no. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that he passes for at least 230 in this game, but it's going to be very, very close. And then finally, Miami wins this game. Will that happen or no? 68% say yes. 32% say no. I'm going to lean in towards, you know what? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I thought the Saints had it, and the Saints could win. I mean, they could surprise us, but, man, I don't know, man. 6 straight wins, and you don't have your top 3 starting quarterbacks, and Jameis Winston, Trevor Siemian, and Taysom Hill. I'm going to lean in towards the Miami Dolphins in this game. But that is your questions via WinView Games. Now, I just want to show you how it works. So if you pull up the app, which the website is just the app, I'm just going to go over here real quick. We've got this pulled up. And pretty much, for instance, if we click this question where it says Miami wins this game, you can put in a certain amount of points. So, for instance, if I say yes, I think it's going to happen, I can put 250 points, or I could put in 750, and you can wager as many points as you want. Now, you get a one-shot, free, no risk against you bet where you could put in 750 points and make that prediction. But, if you want to be more on the safe side, you can put in 250. I'm going to take that one shot because I'm just not that confident in it. And I'm just going to be like, listen, you know what? What the heck? This isn't going to count against me if I make this prediction. So make that prediction, and it goes to the next question. So that is WinView Games. So winview.tv/T2F. Sign up, start playing. The link is in the description. And play before and during the Monday Night Football game. All right, now we take a moment to end the show with going to the live chat. What do you guys got for me? What are you guys saying in the live chat? I just spent a few minutes talking to you guys about what's going on. All right. Jeff, happy holidays from Canada. In the finals. Thank you for your continued content. Dude, I'm very happy that a lot of guys are in the finals. Listen, hey, I didn't do anything. You're the one that drafted your team. You're the one that set your lineup. That's you. I just kind of just told you what I would do. That's it. And you chose whether you wanted to listen or not. Chris, morning, Hassan. How was your holiday break? It was good. It was relaxing. I mean, it was kind of like, you have to go see family. It's like, oh man, one day you got to go here, one day you got to go there. So it's like kind of all over the place. But I mean, it was good. It was good seeing family, and chilling and watching football. Actually, as a matter of fact, one of the things that I'm always concerned about whenever it comes to like holiday season, so Thanksgiving as well, Christmas as well. Anytime I need to go out of town during NFL football, I'm like, how do I watch this game? Because I got to watch every single game, right? And during Christmas, thankfully, we went to someone's house, and I was like, hey, is it cool if we just put on the Cleveland and the Packers game? And they were like, oh, yeah, sure. So that was neat that, like, there was a TV available. Also, but then there's been times where I have my phone on a game while I'm like with people and I just feel bad. I'm like, should I like keep? I need to watch this, but like we're over here. And actually, we came back yesterday while the games were going on. So on my phone, I was driving, and this is not safe. I don't recommend this, but I was driving with NFL Red Zone on my phone, and I was looking at the road, looking down. Oh, oh crap! Mark Andrews touchdown. Yeah, the Texans are winning. You know, so I don't recommend that. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Brian Thomas, do you think Sony is an RB1 now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. It's gotten to the point, man. Cam Akers could be coming back and could be taking over that lead role. I doubt it, man. Especially in week 17. They're probably going to be easing him back into the lineup like, hey, man, Cam, we're only going to give you 10 touches total, right? But getting 20 touches is going to be Sony Michel. So now he is the, for sure, RB1. Gabriel, just here to tell you I won my Dynasty Championship yesterday. Merry Christmas. Good job, man. Good job. Congratulations on that. John, my daughter's boyfriend blew up a picture of my mugshot and framed it for me. It now hangs in my living room. Dude, John. Hey, man, you got to tell us what you did. You got to tell. I'm very curious to hear the story. What'd you do? What'd you do, man? What'd you do? That's an amazing Christmas gift, though. And that's awesome that you can laugh about that. What we got? Thanks for all the advices throughout the whole season, Hassan, Gabriel. No, thank you for tuning in. Ernest saying thanks to Burrow and Higgins stack, I'm in the finals for the second time in 12 years. Hey, congrats, man. I know the second time in 12 years seems like a lot or not that much, but like I said at the beginning of the show, this is the third time in 9 years that I'm going to the playoffs or to the finals. So it's hard. It's hard, especially if you're in a competitive league. Based on the dominating performance by the Dallas Cowboys defense last night, do you think they will be able to back it up against Arizona, or will New England going up against Jacksonville be a better matchup? I think New England, man. New England against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is for sure fire. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts going. Hassan, back up. Articulate. Let's speak one thought at a time. Answer your question. New England. I think the New England defense, talent-wise, is better than the Dallas Cowboys defense. Now, it's probably just one or two. It's just probably minor. But I like the Cowboys or the Patriots defense more than the Cowboys. Against Arizona as well. Like, Arizona has been looking good, but they're a high-powered offense, and Jacksonville is not that high-powered. And they had every opportunity to be a high-powered offense. They really did. You got the number 1 overall pick. You've got one of the better running backs in the NFL last season in James Robertson. You face some teams like the New York Jets and the Houston Texans where the matchup was great, but you weren't able to capitalize on that. So that's why I like the Patriots. I really do. Chris, thoughts on the CEH situation? Will Darrell Williams retake control of the backfield? Yeah. So Darrell Williams is going to be another one of those guys that's going to be, hey, he's an RB1 that's kind of buried behind CEH in the depth chart. He is going to take over, and he's going to do really well for CEH. Now, monitor status, again, MRI this, actually today, Monday, so monitor his status and see if he is going to be missing any games. Darrell Williams is going to be taking over. Rob, happy holiday, Con. Made finals in 3 out of the 5 leagues. Dude, you guys are killing it. You guys are, I don't know whether it's like you don't have a competitive league or if like you actually do have like a really good team. Well, let's read your team. You got Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, Najee Harris, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Mark Andrews among the players on your teams. Hey, congrats, man. That sounds like a pretty good freaking lineup. That sounds amazing. Now, I got in because I drafted really well, and I made a trade for Mark Andrews, which, oh my gosh, that ended up being such an amazing trade. I had to give up James Robinson for Mark Andrews and Myles Gaskin. I got Mark Andrews and Myles Gaskin, and at first I was like, This is probably like an even trade, but like towards the end, I was like, oh man, James Robinson, like, oof, glad I got rid of him because it was not looking good. Hey, I'm at 3 of 5 in championships. Daniel Orton, dude, congrats, man. Thank you so much for your help all season. The job isn't done yet, but I wanted to thank you. Wow, oh my gosh. Hey, this isn't Thanksgiving. This is Christmas. This is Christmas. But you guys are extending your thank yous. Hey, I want to thank you for being a loyal listener, a loyal viewer for this channel. Really, you guys are the backbone of this channel. Carl saying, Hassan, how about them boys? LOL. I stopped watching after the first quarter, knew it was going to be a blowout. LOL. Hope your Christmas was very merry, man. I got 4th place in my main league and got to the championship game next week for my work league. Thanks for all your help. Carl, that sounds awesome. Yeah, it was a blowout. You didn't miss much, man. I because of all of this, I watch every game, even if it is blowout. So when it was 56 to 7 at one point, I was watching it. Cooper Rush was in at quarterback, and you had Kyle Allen coming in for Taylor Heineke. Antonio Gibson got benched. Not because not Antonio Gibson was bad, but they were just out of the game. So yeah, I watched it. You did not miss much. You did not miss anything at all. So I love watching blowouts. I love it. I just love football in general. Mr. Wong saying, morning, Hassan. Somehow won with Gronk giving a huge dud. Yeah, I have AB also, and my opponent has Tom Brady. You know, that's satisfying. That's really satisfying to the point where if you have a receiver for one team and then the other guy has a quarterback, hey, you get more points for the yards, for like if it's PPR as well. Like you get more points for that, even if it's a touchdown. You know, like for instance, last night or yesterday, I had Jalen Hurts starting. My opponent had Dallas Goedert. So I'm thinking to myself, like, gosh, dang it, dude. I hope they don't throw a touchdown. And there was that one point where Jalen Hurts threw a touchdown, and I was like, oh, please don't be Dallas Goedert, because we play half PPR. So that's 6.5 points at least for him. 6.6 if you want to say 1 yard. And then for me, it is 4.04 minimum. So that's a 2.5 point difference, right? Where he goes up by 2.5 points. But the guy turned around and ended up being Lane Johnson. And I was like, oh, nice. Why did I think Dallas Goedert was that big? I don't know. But yeah, that's satisfying to be on the other end of that. Like have Stephon Diggs and the opponent has Josh Allen. I've been there before. And I think as a matter of fact, one time in my league, someone had Mark Andrews and then the other guy had Lamar Jackson. And it was like a back and forth, man. Like I think the game went into overtime. It was a Sunday Night Football game. Gosh, I don't remember. It was earlier this season. I don't know if it went into overtime. Maybe it was the Chiefs-Ravens game. I feel like there was another game that the Ravens played on Sunday Night Football. No, it was against the Indianapolis Colts. That's what it was on Monday Night Football. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, the guy had Mark Andrews, and the other guy had Lamar Jackson. They're just like going back and forth, like, oh, don't complete it on Mark Andrews. Like the game was so tight. Like I love being on that end where you have that receiver and the quarterback throws to him that you're facing him. It's amazing. All right. I mean, you guys aren't really saying anything else, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch it over to. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. On this episode of Time2Football. Hey, glad you guys were able to join us for this wonderful Monday morning. You guys are getting back to the swing of things of work. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But we're back. We're back. We have to be contributing citizens for the final days of 2021. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, we got this live show going every 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us tomorrow for Tuesday's show. With all that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and congrats on making the finals.